Hey, welcome to our Thursday afternoon live broadcast. It is 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in Texas. Welcome. Let me know where you are jumping in from today. We are going to be talking about, are you getting out of your life what you want, basically, is how we're going to round out this week. We've been talking a lot about the social and emotional aspects of some things that we do in our life. And today I'm going to sort of close things up and round it out and hopefully have you walk away with a little action item plan for developing a path for yourself so that you can actually get out of your life what you're hoping for. If you are new, welcome. Make sure that you leave me a comment in the comment section when you jump on so that I know that you're there. The way I do these live broadcasts are I give you the information and the discussion on the front end, and then on the back end, I open it up for a conversation where I read your comments and welcome everyone for jumping on with us. If you are new, my name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And since becoming a certified nutrition coach, we have taken that a step further and are really utilizing the amazing benefits of practicing intermittent fasting and developing a nutritional plan that is a keto-like lifestyle, just nutritionally sound decisions that we're making for ourselves that are really going to help us get to what it is that we're trying to do here, and that is look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. So, are you getting out of your life what you're hoping for? This week, we talked about some areas of our life that might be pulling us away from what it is that we want. We talked about living your life intentionally, and are you purposely sowing or planting seeds that will help you reap what it is that you want out of life. It's not something that we should take lightly. It's not something that we just hope is going to happen. Living your life intentionally is exactly what it is. You have the intention of doing things so that you are planting seeds along the way that you will be able to reap the benefit from. Not just you personally or maybe selfishly, but anytime we do things with intention or we're planting seeds, what is being reaped can be a ripple effect, and you can actually help people around you also benefit from what it is that you're intentionally doing. On Monday's discussion, I also talked about the lesson that was given in our church on Saturday, and there was some scripture that I listed in there. So if you're interested in that, you can always go back to Monday's broadcast. It is posted in both places, and you can go ahead and review the notes on that. Tuesday, we talked about the people that might be influencing you in your life. Are you surrounding yourself with positive influences? Are you wanting to have a path for your life that is going one direction, and maybe the people in your life are influencing you to make a little sidestep or going into a different direction that is taking you off of the path that you want? Do you need to seek out a mentor? Are you maybe in a position where you could be mentoring some other people? What are the primary influences in your life, and are you happy with those, or do you need to change some things up? And then yesterday we talked about negativity and why it is that it is so easy to be sucked into the negativity or be part of things that are negative, even though we have the desire to be in a more positive place. And I shared with you guys that I admittedly can be a very negative person just naturally, and that I have to purposely seek out positivity in my life and put positive things in my life so that I stay the course of what it is that I want to do, and really do train my brain to go to the positive as opposed to what can often be natural for me and go to the negative. So how do we take these three discussions that we've had this week, wrap them in with the lifestyle that we're trying to create with intermittent fasting and developing a keto-like lifestyle so that we are looking and feeling our best, and then can take these three areas that we talked about today and really create the authentic life that we want to live? And I saw a quote today that said something, it was summarized, it was something like, you can't live your life authentically if you're afraid to live your life. And I thought, wow, like how amazing is that? Like, why are we so afraid to either be positive, or why are we so afraid to let go of negative influences in our life? Or why is it that we're afraid to live intentionally, or afraid to step out and maybe do the uncomfortable things and plant some of those seeds that can really create change for us? What is that fear inside of us that's holding us back from doing those things? So I'm going to share with you some things that I've purposely done in my life to to forge what it is that I want to do to make sure that I'm staying authentic and, in fact, living my life intentionally. So, and I've had to do this individually for myself. Michael and I have had this discussion. We practice this for ourselves. And then we also kind of roll this out to the way that we really are teaching our kids to live their lives as well. So the fear part, I think, is that big thing that we have to really overcome, and the fact that there's nothing to fear when you're thinking about trying something new or making some changes, because failure is just part of life. And we've heard the phrase before, failing forward. Michael and I have failed in so many aspects of our life so many times, but gratefully we're here where we are today because of the fact that we weren't afraid to try new things. We weren't afraid to step out of bounds. We weren't afraid to be the outcast. We weren't afraid to go against the grain, and more things succeeded for us than they failed. And so we have an amazing life because of that. We always tell our kids, keep moving forward. No matter what it is that you're doing, always move in a forward progression. If you're constantly moving forward, regardless of the things you have to step over or the things that you've tripped over, the things that have made you fall down, just keep moving forward, and eventually you'll get to where you need to be. So if you're that person that is having some trouble trying to live your life with intent, the best thing that I can say is you have to create an action plan, maybe a to-do list, maybe a top 10 things that you need to really kind of just write down as the things that you're going to really focus on this year, and then reverse engineer them. We talk about that a lot here as well. Reverse engineering. It can apply to your nutrition. It can apply to your fitness. It can apply to your finances. It can apply to your relationships. Reverse engineering is taking a big goal that seems almost too big to accomplish and breaking it down into little action item steps. We do that in our Passion Planner group. We use the roadmap in our Passion Planner to kind of get a plan out of how to break things down into smaller steps so that it doesn't seem so overwhelming. So find one thing in your life that you want to live with true intent, and maybe plant some of those seeds and reap the benefits from it, and break it down into action item steps that you can slowly start checking off on a check-off list, so that you do get that immediate gratification. You do get that sense of rewarding yourself and accomplishment, which will then excite you and keep you energized to get to that next step. So to live your life intentionally and to live your life authentically without fear, you really have to have a plan. So create an action item list, break down those big items into little items, and then what you want to do is reverse engineer your way to success on those things. Another thing you need to do, if you're feeling like you're mentally or maybe your heart and your mind want to go in one direction with some things, but maybe your ego or maybe your insecurities are pulling you in another direction by those negative influences in your life. And oftentimes, if we're not feeling strong in our conviction, or we're not feeling strong about ourselves, that's when those negative influences can pull us aside. So what do we have to do to make sure that we can stand firm on what it is that we want to do, and we don't allow peer pressure to sideswipe us, or we don't allow a negative influence to pull us off track? That is a time when I think you really have to go inward and do a little bit of soul searching and figure out why it is you just can't be with you. Why is it that you have to have someone else that's going to be the bigger voice or the louder voice that's going to kind of direct you toward your life? And figure out what it is that you need to do to get that inward strength and that inward desire that's going to keep you on track no matter what anybody else says, thinks, or does. And for me, that comes with practicing prayer, having a strong faith, and knowing that no matter what I decide to do or who I decide to hang out with or where I'm going to spend my time, I'm never alone, because I have someone that's always going to be watching over me and there with me and listening and supporting me and making sure that I'm always going to be okay. So we don't always need to have a big community of people on the outside. If you have a deep faith and you can trust that you will always be taken care of, that's where you can really pull in some strength when you feel like you might have some negative influences on your life that are going to always be tripping you up. Clear the room. Make sure it's just you and the person that you have the most undying love and faith for. Pray for what it is that you want, and then know that will come to you when it is ready to come to you. And then negativity. How do you beat the negativity thing? I shared with you guys yesterday that I am a book reader. I'm a podcast listener. I am a YouTube video watcher. I seek out mentors in every possible avenue of my life I can find them. And I purposely start my day with just telling myself how grateful I am for what I have and that today's going to be a great day. And for a while in my life, there have been times that have been better than others. I've had to just sort of fake it till I make it with some of those things that I was saying to myself, and just know that there's always something good you can find, even when there's something bad going on, and look for the good. Sometimes you have to look a little harder. Sometimes you have to look a little farther, but you will always be able to find something good that's going to keep your head in that positive place. And then you hold on to that until it's actually what is happening for you. We are so blessed every morning that we get a chance to put our feet on the ground and stand up out of bed and have a new day. I can tell you 100 things about today that I could say were negative or bad, but there was also 100 things that I want to focus on that were absolutely amazing and that I'm going to hold on to get me through all the other things. And that's what you have to do to get you through your day. How does this all apply to what we're doing with nutrition and improving our overall health? Well, if you're not positive and you don't have a strong faith and you don't have the confidence to plant your feet in the ground and do what you have to do to take care of you, then nothing else is going to work. And so we have to get that strength. We have to get that conviction. We have to get that inner self-esteem going. And we have to be okay with failing every now and then, because that's just how life works. And if we have a plan and we have our action item list and we have those goals reverse engineered, then no matter what else is happening around us, we're going to be solid. We are going to be totally okay because we know exactly what we want to do. We're doing it with intention. We're doing it with positive influences in our life. And we're going to make sure that no matter what happens, we're always going to be able to talk ourselves into being positive, because there's always something positive that we can look for. Not every day is a perfect food day for me. Not every day is a perfect exercise day. Not every day do I wake up feeling like $1,000,000. But by the time I shake off my sleep and by the time I'm ready to face my day, there's something that I can find that I can hold on to that's going to get me up and get me moving and get me into that place that I need to be. And I want you to know that you have that same opportunity. Everything that we do in life is about a choice. We can choose to do this or we can choose to do that. And the end result of whatever it is that you're deciding in your own mind, in your own heart, in your own soul is controlled by you. So make sure that when you are in those positions that you have what it takes to put yourself on that positive place, because in the end, it's just a choice. And just making the decision to be positive and making the decision to find a good thing, making the decision to turn to that to-do list when maybe you don't have anything else to turn to, will be that thing that's going to get you through the day and get you to a new, fresh start and a new opportunity to do great things for yourself. And what I always tell the women in my course, especially the ones like myself who've had struggles with food in the past and emotional issues with food in the past, is that, it's just food and it's just a decision. And all you have to do, and we talked about this, I think it was Tuesday, we added that third, that third question that we ask ourselves. I say, ask yourself 2 questions every day. How long will you fast and how well will you feast? And really, those simple 2 questions really do put you in a position every single day where you know that you can make decisions for yourself that are going to be good. Just make a decision and go with it. It doesn't matter if it's what shoes will I wear or where am I going to spend my day or what I'm going to have with lunch, but I'm giving you 2 really simple questions that you can ask yourself every day. They're going to set you up for success. Just answer them authentically. How long will I fast today, and how well will I feast? And then you just have to make the choice to be happy and to really live your life with intention of moving forward and making sure that you're on the path that you desire to have for your life. So when all is said and done and you sit back and you can reminisce about some things, you're going to be able to say to yourself, yep, I did that with intention. I did that with some positive influences in my life, and every opportunity that I had, I put myself in a positive position. And yes, I have lived my life exactly the way I wanted to live it. And we don't have to worry about having regrets or wishing that we did things another way. Exercise your right to make the positive choices every day and then just act it out. And what I always fall back on is when I'm in doubt, I search for the higher power, I say my prayers, and I make sure that I know that no matter how I might be feeling, that there's always someone that's going to take care of me and that I'm going to always be okay, because that's the choice that I'm going to make. I know a lot of you have been reaching out to me with some very personal struggles, so I do like to have these kind of conversations every now and then. I know this channel is mostly about intermittent fasting and how to eat a keto-like lifestyle, but it always comes back to the simple fact that if we're not okay emotionally and we're not okay mentally and we're not comfortable in our own skin, it doesn't matter how many macros of protein you have in a day. It doesn't matter how much sugar you're trying to avoid. It doesn't matter how many hours that you fasted. You have to be an okay woman on the inside first. Health it goes so far beyond what you put on your plate. Health goes so far beyond what it is that we do in an exercise class. Health is who we are as a whole woman. And in this community here, it doesn't matter how good you look on the outside or how healthy you are on the inside. If you're a hot mess emotionally, you're always going to be a hot mess. And I've had my hot mess days, trust me. And I know that for me, my full and complete life is lived so much better when I have all three things really worked out. My nutrition, so I'm looking and feeling my best. My fitness, so that I can live my life functionally, and making sure that my heart and my head are in the right place so that I can be an attractive person to other people who choose to spend time with me. And that's the trifecta that we hope that we can all reach as women, because we are the model that other people are looking at, and we are the influencers, and we are the ones that everyone else is depending on, and we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves first so that we can keep it together. So for those of you who've been reaching out to me and sharing your personal stories, I hear you, I get you, I love you, I understand. I've been in those same types of positions, and doing good for yourself comes in all different areas. And the best times of my life where I've really had it together are the times when I've nutritionally and exercise-wise have really focused on doing good for myself. Because if you're not looking good and you're not feeling good, then I promise you, you're not living your life intentionally or authentically. And that's the purpose of what we want to do with our life, is be authentic and intentional. So keep at it and keep finding those positive influences, keep finding those mentors, keep reading those books, keep saying your prayers, keep eating right, and keep moving that body so that we can stay functionally fit as well. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome everyone really quickly. I don't know why this light is so bright. Sorry about that, YouTube. I'm going to go to YouTube first, if you guys don't mind, and then I'll come on over to Facebook. Kitty Cat, 4th day live. Welcome back, girlfriend. Now you get a break for a little bit, because we take a break from here over the weekend. Patricia from Spokane, this week's messages have been awesome and spot on. Thank you so much for saying that, because, you know, with having a channel that is, you know, intermittent fasting and keto-like, I know there's some people who don't appreciate this kind of stuff, but I really do feel that, you know, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside if you're a hot mess on the inside. That's, you know, we always say this to our kids too, is, you know, that an appearance on the outside is only as attractive as you can handle when the person starts opening their mouth, type of situation. And so we really want to make sure that, you know, that we're pleasant to be around for more than just a hot second. And that's the work part, and making sure that what comes out of our mouth, how we love people, how we treat other people, how we leave people when our time with them is over, the impressions that we leave, the feeling that we leave people with. I always want to make sure people leave the time that they spent with me feeling better than it was than maybe when we first started interacting. And I really do lead with that purpose and passion. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of women in this community that are that way as well. You share all your stories with me, and I appreciate you. And that should really be our focus. That, you know, sometimes we focus so much on the exterior appearance of things, and we don't really do the work on the inside. And we owe ourselves that, because we want to make sure that we're feeling good in all aspects of our life. So I appreciate you saying that. Because it is a little edgy sometimes for me to step out this way, but I always know in the end that it's a good thing. So thanks for noticing that. Cindy, thanks for being in our February course. Jane from Melbourne, so glad to have you here. Stephanie from Florida. Linda from Ontario, I'm an alumni September, January Passion Planner course. I have loved the topics all week. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. Thanks for tuning in with us. Christina from South Carolina, this reminds me of the great interview I saw a while back with a CEO whose dad would always ask his family at dinner table, how did you fail today? Yeah, that's a great thing. And, you know, I did something with my kids. They don't have me tuck them in the way they used to, but I always used to do have this little question time with Gabby and Logan when they were little, and I would always ask them, what made you happy today? What made you sad today? What made you feel proud today? What made you feel like a success today? What touched your heart today? And I would go through like every emotion that I could think of and have them try to explain to me kind of how their day went and how they were feeling about things, so they could even just practice expressing emotion and feelings. You know, we don't do that enough. We get so protected and so scared to talk about how we feel. So that's a really good practice. If you have kids or you have grandkids, maybe snuggle up with them and just go through some emotions and ask them some questions about how they felt about themselves in their day. And it's very telling. You can get a lot of information out of your people that way. Maybe even do it with your spouse. That would be fun too. Let's see, where did I leave off? Christina, they would celebrate failures because it meant they had taken a chance and tried something new. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's a great thing. And we try to teach our kids that too. Lisa, my Nana used to say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's awesome. Yep. Perfect. What a great Nana you must have had. Stephanie, I personally have learned that I tend to fall back to the negativity because that is my identity. So to speak and to be positive makes me feel vulnerable and uncomfortable. Stephanie, that's very true. And I think I feel that way a little bit too. I grew up in a very female dominated house, and everything was very negative. And so as a woman with other women, it can be very difficult for me at times. I'm very self-conscious, you know, very down on myself. And that's just the way we were raised. And again, like, I don't fault anybody for that. I think it was just a generational thing that passed down through time or whatever. But when we become women, what we have to realize is we have a choice to make a change, right? So I don't have to be that child I was then when I didn't have a choice. I now have a right to be the woman that I'm choosing to be today by my own personal experiences and by the way I want to intentionally and authentically live my life. So we do have the opportunity to make those changes, and we should exercise them for sure. Let's see. Kitty Cat, didn't find Mountain Valley alternative water. I found Gerber pure magnesium sulfate. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Stephanie, being positive or being negative boils down to a choice. It absolutely does. Joanne, hello from New Jersey. I finally got to live chat in the afternoon. Joanne, so good to have you here. Tracy, look forward to this. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, cool. So that was YouTube. Let me see my people over here on Facebook really quick. Let's see. Sorry, I have to scroll down to the beginning of the comments over here. Maria, so happy to have you on live with us today. Angelica from Munich, former January course, mini holiday and alumni. Colleen from Washington, hello. Joy, traveling, so we'll be catching the next 2 days on the recording. I sure do appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Joy. And so tomorrow, just remember, you guys, tomorrow we don't broadcast here. We broadcast only on Facebook on Fridays, sorry, YouTube, at our IF Keto Family Life page. And tomorrow, Michael and I will be broadcasting from California. So make sure you've liked that page over there, and then you can join us for our conversation tomorrow. We're going to talk about teenagers and fasting. Jillian from Alberta, January grad, February refresher course, gaining more clarification in the second go around. That's why we do that for you guys. So anyone who's taken our course one time, we offer you a very discounted rate to come through a second time. And what we often find is that the aha moments start to click and you get a little deeper feeling for what it is that we're doing in the course on the second round. So all of our current February students, don't worry if you feel like it's moving fast, you'll get an opportunity to go back through with the group. You have access to the information always, but going through a group is super, super powerful. And it always is that kind of, you know, seals the deal for everyone. Janice from New Jersey. Amy, my cousin, is here. Always love seeing her happy face. Carrie from the February group. Welcome. Jillian from Toronto. Had a very emotional day, but managed to push through a 17-hour fast and didn't eat the junk food. Okay, Jillian, here's a good thing for you to know. That the longer you practice intermittent fasting, the deeper you understand the clarity that you get in a truly fasted state, the easier emotional days it will be for you to handle, the more powerful you'll be in an emotional day, because you won't reach to food. You'll reach to you and your inner strength that you're going to develop through learning how your body's operating. And what I really, really like about the time that we spend practicing intermittent fasting and all the feelings that we go through and getting into that energized sense of calm is you really do reestablish your intimate relationship with yourself. And that has to be the healthiest relationship that we have, is the relationship we have with us. And so those days, Jillian, that you have that might be emotional are going to get easier and easier and easier for you to manage, because you're going to make sound decisions. And you have to always remember that when you have an emotional day, or you have a bad day, or you have a stressful day, food doesn't solve problems. Food dulls emotions. It's a drug. And so when the drug wears off, the problems are still there. Use the energy that you have and the clarity that you have to really sit down and try to solve what's going on, or just do what I say all the time and just take a deep breath and relax your way through it. And then when the problem goes away, guess what? You don't have to make up lost time for a bunch of bad food that you ate, or bad feelings that you have, or guilt or remorse, or a crappy day chemically because you did bad things to your body because of food. Your body shouldn't be punished because you're having a bad day. So just make sure that you're exercising the energized sense of calm, and you're feeling your way through an emotional day. Don't numb it with bad food choices. Lynn Ann, welcome to the live. Good to have you here. Candace from El Paso. Maria, January grad and enjoying February course again with everyone. Love your hair today. Prayer is so powerful. Also calms my anxiety to let things go, to focus on the positive. Yes, thank you. And I just got my hair done today. That's why it looks good, because my hairdresser did it. So thank you for noticing, and I'll let her know that you liked it. Julie from Boston, down a solid 10 pounds with so much more energy. I cannot thank you enough for your support. I love my life. Awesome. So Julie was in our January course, and she's now in our February refresher course. So that would put you at 5 weeks, because we had 3 weeks of January, 1 week break, and 1 week of February. So 5 weeks, you're down 10 pounds and you have so much more energy. So congratulations, Julie. You are well on your way, and it's going to get better and better and better. And the fact that you already love your life means that the betterness for you is just going to be amazing. So please keep us posted on your progress. You're doing great. Jillian, this is one of the things I love most about you, Diane. You are so real, and you consider everything that is involved in being healthy. It's not just about our bodies, it's about our minds. You're so supportive. Oh, Jillian, thank you for saying that. And I'm a work in progress. I've been exercising my way out of emotional situations since I was a high school student. So exercise has always been that thing, and healthy food choices have been my vice for keeping myself emotionally stable. So it's been my drug of choice, is I guess the best way to say it. And I haven't always used exercise and nutrition in the healthiest of ways, but it's always been the healthier alternative for some of the emotional things that I've had to deal with in my own life. So that's the part I like to share, is that, if you're going to do something to work your way out of a situation, exercise and solid nutritional choices is always going to be the best way. And Michael and I are in the process of putting a podcast together, which will be the forum where I'll talk a little bit more about some of the things that I've gone through in my life and share with you guys a little bit more. I just don't think this forum's the place for that. So we're going to do that in a podcast forum. And I'll share some of the things that I've done and some of the ways that I've utilized exercise and nutrition to really strengthen my mind, strengthen my faith, and just strengthen who I am as a woman. And it's helped me get out of a lot of really tight situations. So hopefully that'll help some of you guys too. Jess, it's so hard. I'm an emotional eater. Yeah, Jess, it is tough. Food is one of the most highly abused drugs out there, and you can't escape it. So I remember watching this, I think it was like a Dateline documentary about food addictions one time, and how, food addiction and emotional food soothing and stuff like that is such a struggle for women, because, if you're an alcoholic, you just avoid situations where there's alcohol, or if you've maybe had a drug addiction problem, you avoid those people, you avoid those situations. But food's everywhere. Food's used to socialize, it's used to reward, it's used to punish, it's used to celebrate holidays. It's everywhere. You can't get away from it. And so then if you're an emotional eater, it just puts that extra layer of struggle on there. So hang out here with us. We're going to provide some information and tools and support for you. And if you aren't already in our course, I would definitely say get into the course, because you learn so much about yourself going through the process of being comfortable in a hungry state, and how much power an empty body can provide for you on the emotional aspect of things. And we never connect those things as women. So that's really what I like to teach you guys and have you experience when you're being cared for. And we really do care for you when you're going through the course. So it's a safe place to be. Maria, being a hot mess will affect how we heal our inside first. Yes, totally. Susan from Houston just got my passion planner. Yay. So Susan, if you're not already in our course, make sure that you search passion planner for today's aging woman on Facebook. You'll find it, and then we'll request to be added and we'll get you in there. Jess, thank you. Though I will keep on trying. I want to go back to being 50 pounds lighter in my happy weight. It's possible, Jess. So definitely just keep at it and hang out here with us. Susan from Houston, setting big goals. Good. I love big goals. And we've got my dear friend, Janet Craig, who's in our community here, set some really big goals for herself, and she's checking them all off. She's roadmapped herself, and she's broken down big goals into literal goals. And she just sent me an email yesterday updating me on all the amazing things that are happening in her life. And when we get our podcast up and running, I'm going to interview some of these amazing women who've done some incredible things in this community. And she'll definitely be on the top of our interview list. So you'll get to hear Janet's story. It's so inspiring. Maria, definitely using my passion planner, writing how I feel and writing down goals has really helped me, especially with my food allergies that I've never knew I had. I know, it's amazing. Amazing. Diane from Pennsylvania, welcome, girlfriend. These topics this week are spot on and keeps me moving forward. Good. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Linan, take the second round for sure. It's so worthwhile. Oh, thanks for saying that. And I'm so happy we decided to do that for you guys. It's been awesome, the stories we're getting. Tamiko from North Carolina, welcome. Catherine from January course, doing great. This is a way to live. Silly, but I put on my rings and they fit on almost half of the fingers on both hands. Loving that feeling. So that means that you're losing a lot of that inflammation in your body, which is fantastic. We live with inflammation every day. I think it's how we're supposed to be. I've told the story before about how I just thought I've always had really big calves and I could just never wear skinny jeans or like knee-high boots because I genetically had big calves. And then I lost all the inflammation in my body and I can wear knee-high boots and skinny jeans. So I don't have big calves. I was just inflamed from all the food intolerances I had in my body all these years. So it's amazing what happens when our bodies actually function in a healthy way. So keep finding those food sensitivities, keep eliminating those foods that are bothering you, and keep reaping the benefits of all of that. It's fantastic. Maria, I'm a hairstylist, so I could tell you just had your hair done. I talk to so many clients, some are negative, and I try to make it a positive. Then they feel amazing when I'm done with their hair. Yeah, my hairstylist is amazing. I absolutely love her. I get so excited every time I get to go hang out with her. So, yeah, I bet you're a great hairstylist. I'd probably love to come hang out with you too. Serena from the February class, coming up on 20 hours, learning that I eat to feel normal and ground myself. Wow. So how are you feeling then when you're fasting? Are you starting to feel normal and grounded in your fasting state? That would be interesting to see if you can make that twist. Let me see what else we got over here on YouTube with comments. I think that's it. Didn't find, we already did that one. Joanne already got that one. Okay, cool. All right. So I appreciate all the feedback on this week's comments. Like I said, on this week's discussions, I always kind of do one of these, and then I get your guys' feedback, and then I feel so great that I went with my heart and really spoke what was coming to me as far as what I needed to share with you guys. So for those of you that it resonated with, I am happy that I went with my heart this week and shared what it was I was feeling. And I appreciate your feedback. So for those of you who are new, and for those of you who have been hanging out and haven't really jumped in yet, I hope you're paying attention to the comments that the students from our course have been leaving. It's so much more than just figuring out how many macros you're supposed to eat or how many calories you're supposed to eat. We don't deal with any of that. We really focus on the why. Why are we feeling this way? And why is it that we don't give ourselves an opportunity to have everything in life that we are really searching for? My theme phrase or word for this year is to do nothing and embrace everything, and really slow down our lives and just not be afraid to take a deep breath and just relax. Why do we feel guilty about taking a deep breath and needing to just relax? And we need to practice that more. Practice doing more of nothing purposely doing nothing, and also embracing everything that you have in your life. And you'll be amazed at how really grounded and settled you'll start to feel, and it's a great place to be. Our course for March is open for registration. We have discounted it for this first few weeks because we are on a 6-week delay before it starts. That discount will end on the 10th of February. I say take advantage of it, please. We feel great to have the opportunity to be able to do that for our students in March. A lot of women have been asking us for that. So please take advantage of it. The price will go up on the 11th. And so we'd like to give you guys as much warning as we can. Take advantage of that discount and then jump into that course in March and change your life in so many amazing ways. For those of you who've been asking about the skincare line that I talked about yesterday, we put all of that information into the emails that we send out on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if you're not on our email list yet, make sure you at least get on our email list. You don't have to join the course if you don't want to, but get on our email list because we do provide a lot of really good information on our weekly emails. The skincare line that I'm using, the collagen products that I'm using, all of that will be included in the emails. So just read through those. And then Kara and I talked today that we're going to start a newsletter as well and start providing you guys with some keto-like nutrition tips and just more like comprehensive, good information and tidbits that you guys can turn to for what it is that you're trying to do to create a life where you can look and feel your best and be your most authentic self. So with that being said, I am going to jump off for today. We are packing tonight. We are going to be going to a business conference in California this weekend, and we're going to meet up with a bunch of really close friends of ours. So I'm super excited. Michael and I are from California, and where we're going to stay is actually where we kind of moved away from. So I'm meeting up with a bunch of girlfriends, and it's going to be a really, really good weekend for us. So we're really excited to get away. We're going to be broadcasting live, like I said, tomorrow on our IF Keto Family Life Facebook page. So make sure you've liked that page so you can jump in with us live from California. And then we're going to be Instagram storing, and we're going to be sharing a lot of our weekend getaway with you guys in social media. So make sure you're connected on Instagram, most importantly, because that's the easiest place to do that kind of stuff. And then we'll upload stuff here on YouTube and Facebook, of course, as well. Thanks for spending time with me this week, you guys. I really do appreciate you. I love being able to talk to you from my heart, and I know that you guys you get it because we're the same kind of people. This is why I love this community. We're all very like-minded, and we're super supportive and loving of each other. And I just want you guys to know that I feel that from you, even through the screen, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic weekend. If you need me, I'm always available through email. Please make sure you leave me messages both on YouTube and Facebook. I go back and read them, and I will answer anything that you need me to answer for you. Mwah! Have a good weekend.